Beloved ones, as we dive into today's topic, I want to invite you to explore a world where the connection with spirit, the earth, and each other is deeply intrinsic. Let us embark on a journey that reveals how indigenous cultures, with their ancestral practices, show us a pure and authentic way of living. Unlike the frenetic pace of modern societies, these cultures teach us that true spiritual awakening lies in harmony with the world around us. The greatest benefit of this perspective? Reconnecting with the essence of life and finding a purpose that transcends the superficiality of everyday life. In indigenous cultures, the relationship with the earth is visceral. There are no supermarkets or supply chains mediating their survival. It is just the human being and their intimate wisdom about nature. Every movement, every harvest, every observation of the wind or the stars is a spiritual act, a dialogue with the universe. Like when a Hawaiian woman, by simply observing a crab, could predict a storm. This connection with the natural world is not just practical, it is sacred. It teaches us to listen to the universe in its subtlest details and to find deep meaning in every aspect of life. Inspired by this ancestral wisdom, here on our channel, we explore themes that unite spiritual awakening with the law of attraction, always bringing an innovative and transformative perspective. By following our channel, you will immerse yourself in content that will help awaken your being and expand your connection with the world. Here on our channel, we explore themes that unite spiritual awakening with the law of attraction, always from a different and innovative perspective. Follow our channel to receive more topics like this and awaken your being. But it is not just the earth that sustains these cultures. It is also the people. The interdependence among community members creates bonds that transcend modern relationships. Women at a well in Africa, caring for one another and even nursing each other's children, show us how living in communion is an experience that heals not only the body, but also the soul. This deep bond with others reflects the fundamental principle of the law of attraction. What you give to the world returns to you doubly. By nurturing these relationships, they attract to themselves a circle of unwavering support and love. Finally, these cultures also teach us to have a sacred relationship with spirit. For them, spirituality is not something reserved for a moment or a place. It is interwoven with every aspect of life. Elders and children share moments, with the older ones teaching that proximity to the spiritual world is natural. Praying to the forest, to the mountains, and to the rivers is not superstition. It is a way of honoring the vital energy that permeates everything. This is the starting point of our spiritual awakening. Understanding that the balance between our relationship with the earth, with others, and with spirit is the foundation for a fulfilled life. The reflection I would like to bring to you: how are your connections with the world around you? Are they aligned, or do you feel that something is disconnected? As we deepen this reflection, Awakened, let us explore how the wisdom of indigenous cultures offers clues to transform our own spiritual journey. In their practices and traditions, we discover that the essence of spiritual awakening is not about abandoning the modern world, but rather about re-establishing ties with what truly matters. One of the most powerful lessons is the recognition that everything around us has energy and life. In indigenous communities, every element of nature has a spirit, and these spirits are respected and revered. They pray to the forests, to the rivers, and to the mountains, recognizing that they are part of something greater. This understanding not only strengthens the spiritual connection, but also teaches that respect and care for the environment are an extension of self-care. When we understand that the universe responds to the energy we emit, we realize that harmony with the natural world raises our vibration, attracting positive experiences. Additionally, these cultures demonstrate the value of living in community. Instead of relying on external systems, such as pensions or modern institutions, they trust in each other. This trust is not only practical but also spiritual. It reflects how shared energy returns in multiplied form. When we give love and support to those around us, we receive it back, creating a continuous cycle of abundance. This dynamic also applies to the law of attraction. By emitting care and generosity, we attract reciprocity. However, what is most striking is the ability of these cultures to integrate spirituality into every moment of life. It is not something separate, reserved only for specific occasions. It is constant. This teaches us that spiritual awakening is not an isolated event, but a continuous process of perception, respect, and integration with everything around us. Recognizing this helps us align our actions with our deepest desires, creating a more authentic reality. I suggest looking around. What small steps can be taken to strengthen your relationship with nature and with the people around you? Perhaps a simple moment of gratitude for the water you drink, for the basic sanitation we have, or a word of support for someone in need. Small actions have the power to initiate great transformations. As we conclude this journey of reflection, awakened, let us dive into the deepest and most transformative aspect of spiritual awakening, the connection with spirit and the expansion of consciousness. In indigenous cultures, this connection is woven into every aspect of life. It is not seen as something separate, but as a continuous flow between the physical and spiritual worlds. These cultures see spirit in everything, in the trees, rivers, mountains, and even in the wind. They understand that we are not separate beings, but rather parts of a vast energetic fabric that connects everything and everyone. When we look at the universe this way, we begin to perceive that every thought, emotion, and action influences this fabric. And this is where the law of attraction becomes a powerful tool. By raising our vibrations and aligning our desires with the greater good, we connect to this universal force that guides and sustains us. Elders and children, often seen as opposites in age, share something unique in indigenous communities. The older ones, who are close to returning to the spiritual world, and the young ones, who have just emerged from it, often form the strongest bonds. This relationship reminds us that spirit is not restricted by age or time. It is eternal and flows through all phases of life. This realization can transform the way we see our own challenges and transitions, helping us trust the process, even when it seems difficult. Something that has not been explored in the previous sections is the deep wisdom of indigenous peoples regarding the cycles of life and time. In indigenous cultures, time is not linear, as we often perceive it in the Western world. For them, time is cyclical, a spiral that repeats and renews itself constantly, reflecting the cycles of nature, such as sunrise and sunset, the seasons of the year, and even the cycles of life and death. This perspective can deeply aid in spiritual awakening because it reminds us that life is not a race to a final destination, but rather a series of interconnected moments. This understanding teaches us to live the present with more awareness, without anxiety about the future or regrets about the past. The concept of cycles also helps us realize that, like nature, we have phases of growth, introspection, rebirth, and rest. To awaken, this wisdom invites us to honor our own internal cycles, embracing the highs and lows as part of the same process. By doing so, we release the resistance that often blocks our connection with spirit and prevents unnecessary suffering. The spiritual awakening journey requires courage, patience, and faith. But as we walk this path, we realize that life becomes richer, more connected, and more meaningful. Now, how can you incorporate these practices into your own life? perhaps by dedicating a daily moment to gratitude, or simply listening more attentively to your intuition and the world around you. Share in the comments, how have you been feeling your connection with Spirit? What practices have helped in your awakening? Let's continue this journey of growth and transformation together.